Hey guys, it's Jane, it's Friday, and I'm here to catch you up with quick Friday reads. I finished one book this week. It was Lyndon Hardy's Master of the Five Magics, a supposed fantasy classic from 1980, and I honestly can't think of anything good to say about this book. It was just tragic. It read like a role player game walkthrough. There was no characterization. The world building was approaching zero. The only thing that any effort had gone into was the magic systems, which were genuinely interesting. So I take it back. There is, in fact, something positive that I can say about the book, but it didn't repay the read. There's a quote that I heard this week. It's a sort of a joke. What do you call a male Mary Sue? The protagonist. That is what is going on in this book. This completely uninteresting central character starts from nothing and becomes the archmage and saves the world for the Queen's hand. It's just... Moving on. I read a short story, The President's Brain is Missing by John Scalzi, which was amusing. I read a little bit of Geek Wisdom. I did a search on my library for N.K. Jemisin. I'm kind of really quite excited about the fact that the third volume of her Broken Earth trilogy is about to drop, and I was just looking to see what else there was of hers to read around, and she is a contributor in this volume, and so I borrowed it and I gave it a whirl. It's not the kind of thing you just sit down and read from beginning to end. It's kind of an encyclopedia type thing with different entries. Honestly, I couldn't get terribly far with this either, because apart from a few entries which are like marked and specifically clearly about geek girls, like about women, the women issue, the rest of it, the assumed audience was male, and yeah, I've just had enough of that at the moment. Just totally had enough of that. However, the week wasn't a complete disaster because it's August, which is Women in Translation Month, it turns out. And if you watched my video that I published earlier in the week about a bunch of books that I found at my library that were amusing, and by the way, thanks for all the comments on that and all the suggestions of what I should read. A lot of people actually were drawn to the Mexican work Umami. Everybody seemed to think it had the nicest cover apart from anything else. And it's by a female author in translation. And so that was tempting up until I actually kind of considered it deeply. And I decided I actually felt like science fiction. I haven't read a huge amount of science fiction in the last month. I felt like science fiction. I did a look around to find another women in translation read. And what I picked was The Core of the Sun by Johanna Sinisalo. This is Finnish, which is great. It's Worldcon starting next week. So all of the crew are over there in Helsinki getting ready for Worldcon to start, so it's timely. From what I've read, Johanna Sinisalo is considered the queen of Finnish weird. Anyway, I'm about halfway through, and this is a corker of a read, so expect a review of that next week. That's what I'm up to. The only other kind of interesting thing that's going on is that we're getting much closer to VidCon Australia. It's next month, and all of a sudden actual information has started to become available. The schedule for the convention has just been published this week. Kirsty from Melbourne on My Mind and I are in the throes of working out like a slot for a booktube meetup. We're getting close to pinning that down, and I will let you know as soon as that is decided. So that is a little bit exciting. It's good to have something exciting because it's actually miserable here at the moment. It has been so cold this week. I've been wearing jumpers to bed on top of my pajamas. I am so ready for winter to be over. that's it. I'd love to hear what you guys are reading, and especially if you've got any recommendations of other women in translation reads that I should think about once I've finished The Core of the Sun. I'd love to hear that. I hope you're well, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.